Lead is not good for human health. It can cause lot of nervous disorders, also constipation. Also, it can make some extra materials to grow, these hernias and this and that. And, if you have some cuts and all, the extra materials grow. If lead is a very poisonous metal for many things, and gums and lot of bad things happen. So I certainly do not want to use lead connected to cooking food or things like that.
Earthen pots, doctor, mud pots.
Mud pots are the best because it is basically the silica based system. The whole crust of the soil is silica based. So when you take mud and then heat, and the same mud if you heat, furthermore you get pingani, furthermore jadis, furthermore you heat, you get the glass, basically. So these are all tending to inert materials. These are all inert. The food should be stored, transported in all inert materials. So that's why I keep telling people, store your oil in jadis, store your oil in glass bottles or in steel bottles. In fact, earlier days we all used to do that. So that's how it should be actually. So we should get porcelain, they call China, it became porcelain. So basically the same, in fact all those techniques were transported from India, I believe, in the initial days. Of course, they have perfected many of things. That's a separate issue. But the simple processes, the less processes you have, the better for us. So coconut oil, you have to actually grind and do. So, but coconut milk is simpler. So instead of going to coconut oil, you can make coconut milk. In fact, coconut milk can cure Parkinson's, can cure fits, can cure Alzheimer's, and lot of nervous related problems, also thyroid, because the micronutrients absorption becomes much better as this so-called, I don't want to explain, because of this happens, because of that happens. Then we are entering into a reductionistic way of doing things. I just want to tell, if you do this, this happens. That's it. And this has been done many times in our. So the science is good if we do it according to nature. The more we reductionistic way of doing things, then you say, oh, B17 is, so I start producing B17 artificially, start feeding you, it becomes excess and it creates another trouble. So things have to be natural and less process. The less processes, the better for you. The more processes, bad for you. Simple.
The virgin coconut oil, doctor.
Yeah, it is another process added. So how you get oil from coconut is the difference.
Is it preferred to the normal coconut oil?
Yeah, and as long as you have no chemicals added, no processing units start adding some other agents, then it is okay. So people keep saying virgin coconut oil, but you should know how it is prepared. Cold pressed without heating. Some of the constituents change their chemical nature when they are heated, when they are pressed, when they are done something. So without that, the best thing is to make your kid eat coconut straight. It is very nice, natural. So, I mean, you can make a lot of things, but the lesser preparations, the lesser processes, the better for you. Even groundnuts, see, earlier days what we used to do, take groundnuts, roast it, powder it, and put it on the rice, and then eat. Now we have to make oil, and to make oil you have to make concentrated efforts and all that. So earlier days they used to simply smash it and put it on the heat, little slow it, and the oil used to release. Into that itself add something. So that was the beauty of olden recipes. The more processes, the more troubles. Yes.
There's one more question, doctor, which says millets produce a lot of heat.
It is the habits that in the last 30-40 years we have gained. In fact, all the heat is in wheat. In fact, wheat literally produces heat. In fact, many people start bleeding actually through their stools. Of course, to have a joke, it is WHEAT. Heat is only in wheat, nothing else actually. So it is because we are used to this rice and wheat for the last 30-40 years or 50 years, whatever. When you want to change, your body and mind doesn't accept it. So you start producing problems by yourself, psychologically or whatever you call. So within 30 to 60 days, all these things will disappear. So no problems at all. In fact, no heat at all. Everything is cool, actually.
Can
In
red
fact,
rice,
Siridhanya production can decrease global warming. Very simply put.
can red rice and brown rice be taken?
Many people who do not want to leave rice. I want to eat red rice, brown rice, unpolished rice, black rice, this rice, that. Rice. We don't want to come out of it. In fact, rice, whether it is produced organically, inorganically, brown or rich, everything, it has only 0.2 grams of fiber. So, exactly. So what you need to do is, you can eat rice once in 6 months or once in a year, something like that. There is nothing wrong with rice if you eat once in a while. But you cannot go on gobbling rice 365 days and say you think you are, which we have been doing, and got into sickness. So please do come out of this square. Think out of the box. Exactly, from sickness to health. So leave rice, white, this wheat, milk, sugar, all this behind. There are wonderful things in the world. For sweet, if you want, you need to have something naturally produced, and that is nothing but ole bella, palm sugar. All this pomaceae, trees all over the world, wherever the river and the ocean flows, God has produced millions of these trees. So that inflorescence, when you cut it, produces sap. Its sap comes out, and then you just heat them, you get this sweet, wonderful thing called palm sugar. Palm, I mean, it is not palm tree. It is called pomaceae. It is Tatinungu is one of the wonderful trees, and Ichil Gida is the first sugar. Sugar is not just this white sugar. It is called palm sugar also. The sweet thing, madhu. That sugar is glucose plus fructose. So actually, in that bella, you have a lot of fructose, not glucose. Fructose is also sweet. So you can eat bella, that tati bella, your body is getting fructose, not glucose. So the glucose, to make fructose to glucose, it takes a lot of time. So pumping glucose is not right. Pumping fructose is okay. That is eating fruits, mango, sapota, all these are actually rich in fructose. That's why... Oh, no, you still have to walk. Because fructose ultimately becomes glucose.
Can diabetes people...
Very lazy person here.
Can diabetes eat fruits like sapotas and mangoes?
Yeah. When HbA1c is around 7, all diabetic patients who come to me are encouraged. You can eat all fruits, no problem. Daily one fruit. In fact, I encourage people to eat fruits what you get in that season. So in mango season, please eat mangoes. In sapota season, please eat sapotas. Eat 1 or 2 sapotas daily, no problem. The reason is very simple. Even if you eat 200 grams of mango, out of which 95 grams is water per 100 grams. So the fructose you are going to get out of 200 grams is around 2 grams or 2.5 grams. So if your HbA1c is already 7, this 2 grams of fructose doesn't make any effect. And if you are eating rice and wheat, Even if you eat one banana, which is 100 grams, that 2 grams becomes excess. So if you are eating siridhanya, because glucose is not there in the blood more than 5 grams, no problem at all. So if you are eating siridhanya, all fruits can be eaten, of course, in a balanced way. Everything has its limit. Balance is health. It is the balance. It is the balance.
Sir, you have a question there? So we'll come back to you. Yes, sir.
Of course, all these 5 grains are wonderful for constipation. So eat every 2 days once. 2 days kodo, 2 days foxtail, 2 days brown top, 2 days barnyard, 2 days little. Your constipation will disappear in a matter of 6 weeks. Wonderful is brown top. Of course, all the 5 works, no problem, but brown top clears most of your triglyceride, cholesterol, even foxtail is wonderful. In fact, out of these 5, whichever you get, you start.
Geetanjali, you have a question about your son.
Ginger and turmeric kashaya is very good, and foxtail millet in more number of times in a week, like 2 to 3 days foxtail if you feed him, it will clean up all lungs problem. In fact, one of the lung cancer patient who was not able to get up, who was coughing blood and things like that, was helped in a matter of 4 weeks eating foxtail millet. Now she is coming and asking me, can I sing tomorrow? That is a wonderful thing that foxtail can do for you. Yeah, they can eat, no problem. But because they have been already sick because of eating this so-called biscuit, chocolate and all this rice and sugar, their lungs have to be cleaned up. So it may take for 6 months to 7 months for the whole cleaning process. After that, they can indulge. In kids can do whatever they want. Actually, there is no restriction. Absolutely no restrictions, because they play a lot. But of course nowadays they are not playing. They are all with laptops and palm tops and these so-called phones. That's a very bad thing nowadays. Kids should go run, play, and of course our societies are shrinking for kids to play. The cities are becoming very bad places for kids, and our societies are not thinking about that. We are not providing our kids good playgrounds, safe places. Everything is business nowadays. So that's a sad story.
Thank you very much. Any more questions? Yes.
Yes.
Different kind of oil. So what do you suggest us, like, we have a busy life where we both go to office and we will not have patience to suggest what you do. Anything where...
No. As I told you, what all we are suggesting are things that can be grown by poor farmers. Groundnuts, til, kusme, and all these oil seeds can be grown, and we don't need them in large quantities, because we need oils in a small quantities, because we also make oils. Excess glucose becomes fat. The body has the capacity to create some fat, but while growing up, especially kids growing up, they need that fat content more. So kids should be eating more of groundnuts, more of sesame seed, more of coconut, more of this. And as you grow old, we don't need that much oil. So as you grow 25, 30, 35 years, your oil consumption should slowly come down. You understand? This is the first point that you should understand. So what all we need is for small amounts of oil, and of course you have become sick, Parkinson's, this and that, you may need specific oils to get you out of that miserable condition. Otherwise, if you are being healthy, you don't need too much oil. So at the most, a family of 5 requires 2 or 3 liters of groundnut oil, 2 or 3 liters of coconut oil, and I would suggest everyone to use different oils, not just one oil. Different oils for different dishes. And for making puri or bhajis, once in a while, you can use coconut oils. That is a very good oil. And then for dosa or for chapati or rotis, I mean, chapati I don't mean you should use wheat at all. So you can make rotis with this siridhanyas. So you can add some oil or butter or things like that. So you can use til oil, you can use kusme oil, you can use groundnut oil. So all these oils are required at the most per family, maybe 3 liters totally for 6 months. If you have 3 liters of each oil, 4 or 5 oils, 15 to 20 liters, more than enough. So we don't need to produce in large quantities. So the whole Bangalore can be supplied by the poor farmers, whatever they grow and then the remaining. So we need to get back to this earlier culture of getting the cold pressed oils. And we have actually started that movement of farmers doing this, making the groundnut oil, making the coconut oil. And in Mysore, Bangalore, that is called Ghana culture. We have Ganagas, no? So, Ganagas. So if we get back and if we start insisting that we need these oils, then slowly the trading community will start providing that for you. You understand? So you stop using this plastic oil and start demanding cold pressed natural oils. In a matter of 2 to 3 years, they will start appearing in the shops for you. The same thing happened with siridhanya. Say, when I started 15 years ago, no one even knew the names properly. Now, everyone is talking about this siridhanya to the extent that our agriculture minister uses the word, it is food of the future, which of course I have told long back. You understand? So it's a matter of we wanting it. So if we want, things will happen. Because we didn't want all this time, it is not produced. So the more we want, the more will be produced. So you all people, I don't intend you to go and produce. I only want the urbanites' demand. I want this, I want this. Go to the shop and say, I want this. 10 days you go and tell that fellow, then he will start getting it for you. And then you create some relationship with these shops and the owners of the shops so that you have a trust. So that's what used to run our lives earlier. That we have lost now. Now we have got malls and we have got online and all that. And these online fellows are deciding what you want, because they will decide how much price, they will decide what to come to your house. And that's how you have got pizzas coming into your house. Isn't it? So if you say no to them, this will start flowing. Thank you. It's a very good question. Absolutely, absolutely. They are irrelevant diseases. These things are irrelevant diseases. You eat these 5 grains, they will just disappear from you in a matter of 6 weeks. 6 weeks are enough for these problems to start disappearing, maximum 6 months. But the problem here all of us face is that 6 weeks we cannot sustain eating only Siridhanya because the world is still not ready. So when you go out for a trip, the hotels are giving you rice and wheat and all that. So there is no place where you can get one meal. If you miss, again you have dumped this nonsense into your body. So to clean that up again you need 4 or 5 meals of Siridhanya. So that 6 weeks become 6 months for you. But still it works. If not 6 weeks, 6 months it will work. So we need to be very sincerely following this, or sincerely the organizations, the communities, the world or the government should start doing. Say if we have Siridhanya hotel giving us only these 5 grains as our food, or idli or dosa or roti or whatever it is, then diabetic patients will have a very wonderful time. Wherever they go, they can eat that and still get cleared of their problems. So we need to work towards that kind of times or places. I hope that will happen soon. Yeah. Yeah.